while the whole crowd goes so loud. He opened his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's stroking now, everybody's stroking now. The clouds run out, time's up, over, plow. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Chuck, he's so mad, but he won't give up that easy. No, he won't have it. He knows he's all bad, so this ropes. It don't matter, he's stuck. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant, he knows, and he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This whole rhapsody better be capture this moment and hope it don't pass it. Lose yourself in the music, the moment you want it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot to not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Lose yourself in the music, the moment you want it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot to not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. The soul's escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom slows to postmortem. It only grows harder, homie grows harder. He blows his all over, this bros is all on him. Coast to coast shows, he's known as Glove Trotter. Lonely rose got on your nose, his grown father. From home, he's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, cause here goes the cold water.
Yes. Can't play original songs on Instagram, they block you. So you gotta find cover tunes that they can't catch with their algorithms. And they ain't catching that one. So, interesting day today. Yeah, that chick has 17 million followers. Yeah, it's recorded on YouTube, KB. Yeah, so UTSL, I mean, you could trim it here. I haven't texted out to the Money Flow gang that I've trimmed it yet. Kind of just watching. Could push higher. I mean, these are the rules. I lost respect for you dudes. Stay trying to scam people. Bro, anybody contacting you, dipshit, is not me. All right? Let's say this as clear as can possibly be. I do not text people, DM people, or try to contact people to sell you anything. So anybody contacting you is not me. I literally have a video screaming at my followers to not be stupid. So if you have responded to those, you would be one of the people that I'm screaming at to not listen to anyone contacting you. Sir, I don't know how to make it any clearer. Anybody contacting you is not me. I mean, I don't know how people can still fall for this shit. I really don't. I think most of the people claiming are actual scammers. Like, that guy's probably a scammer. That's what I've come to the conclusion of, that most human beings know that it's not real. I hope you know that. Anybody contacting you, nobody's going to contact you with anything good through DM. Like, if they have something good, they don't need to contact you. You don't need to pitch certain things. Like, nobody contacts you and goes, hey man, I got a Lambo, you want to buy it? Like, they don't do that. There's no commercials. Like, they don't do that. They don't need to do that. So, I don't know. I don't know how people fall for that, but almost every day, yeah, that's why I think he's a scam. Like, I think that person is a scam, the people that say that. And so I think the people that are... I actually think people say they got scammed trying to scam me, is I think what is happening. Yeah, that's what I think is happening. They're like literally trying to scam me by saying, hey, I got scammed, could you help me out? Is where I think is the scam is now turned to trying to scam the person. This is how weird it is. I miss the good old days when it was just pictures of hot fake girls that were trying to talk to you. Now it's like all kinds of weird crypto things, and it's just bizarre. Hey, UTSL, you could ring the register here and take a little off if you want. Nothing wrong with giving it a minute. This is kind of like a synthetic short. It's kind of like a synthetic short, meaning this is going up while the market's coming down. Synthetic short. I don't take a lot of short positions, but I do try to buy things that are going up when the market's going down, thereby basically creating a synthetic short. Not something I talk a lot about, but there are almost always things going up when things are going down. Plus, it's easier. It keeps you in the realm of being positive, and I try to stay positive. I just got off the phone with a couple people. One of them is a buddy of mine that works at Delta Airlines, and I called him to say, "Hey, what's the real scoop? Are you guys hedged on these gas prices?" And he said no. He said he wouldn't own Delta stock here. He works there, and he wishes he didn't own as much as he does. Let's see. What else? Oh, there's going to be more of a ripple effect from this Russia stuff. I was talking about that in Discord today. There's going to be a lot more. There's high-end real estate owned by these billionaires in Miami, New York City. Yeah, for sure, jet fuel is cheaper, but it is a byproduct. So, and they're not hedged at all. But the other effect too is just the general price of everything on the airlines. I mean, everything. One of the most inflationary things is oil prices. When it goes up, it trickles into everything. Cost of bread, cost of beer. And you're going to see a lot of these discretionary things are going to come down as oil goes up. And there's right now, on top of already record inflation, on top of the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates, on top of there's a bear market in growth stocks. So there's a lot of shit piling on top of each other here. So you're going to see a flee to safety. Couple stocks you might keep an eye on, in my opinion, that are probably going to start to move higher. AT&T, I think, could move higher here. It's putting it now. This one's not going to rip by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely could move higher. The fact that it's not dropping much lower here tells me we've probably found a bottom. And if you know the money flow pattern, that's what we're looking at here, right? This is what we're looking at here. Sideways, up, sideways, down, sideways. Let's see. He said Kenny Loggins. That dude, that picture I posted, didn't that dude look like Brad Pitt, man? I thought that was funny. I had actually had people get mad at me for posting that I had drinks with Brad Pitt. I kind of assume people realize I'm joking. That guy looked like Brad Pitt to me, so I took a picture. And I had a guy say, "Oh, see, he says he's hanging out with Brad. He's not hanging out." I'm like, "No shit, dude. No shit. It's a fucking joke." Like, yes, I'm not having beers with Brad Pitt. Jesus. I didn't think I need to preference that. I figured everyone would assume that was a joke. So this is AT&T. Put in a pretty solid stage one here. It's undervalued. It's trading under the 200-day. Not an amazing. Yeah, like Gage said, 12 gauge. I gotta assume everyone knew I was joking. I don't think I need to preference it in the thing. Is it gonna rip? No, it's probably not gonna rip. I do like it here. This is a good spot to nibble. The most bullish stock today, in my opinion, was Gilead. I don't know if you saw the open on Gilead. This thing opened at 59 and immediately rocketed to 62. I thought it was a misprint. I didn't really respond much. I just thought it was a misprint. It was over the 20, attempted a breakout. But we're back in the box. That's usually a bullish sign. There was some stuff come out about a phase 3 trial that was posted in our Discord. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But we're back in the box. Yeah, if you were in Bed Bath and Beyond at the open, you should have sold like half. If you ever wake up and a stock is up 100%, don't even think about it. Hit the sell button. You don't have to sell it all, but ring that damn register, man. Like, that's an unusual move. Stocks average 12% a year, 9 to 10, 12%. So if you wake up and you got a 100%er on your hands, there's nothing to think about. Bang it, hit it, take it, sell some. You don't have to sell it all, but you sell some. It says, what does back in the box mean? Well, stay with me and you'll find out, young lady. So boxes are the tipping points. If you go back and catch some of my videos, you'll see me talk about this ad nauseum. Market moves in 4 stages. Goes sideways, we call that accumulation. It breaks out, we call that a stage 2 markup or an uptrend. And then eventually it hits a top and starts to go sideways. We call that distribution. If you think about it, you're distributing your shares, which causes the price to stop going up. Accumulation is people are buying for every seller, which causes the price to stop dropping. And so it'll move sideways, run up, move sideways, come down, move sideways. You might say, well, how can that be? Well, if you just watch, you'll see it. There's price moving sideways, and then it runs up, right? And then what? Then it starts to move sideways, and then it runs down. Now, that's not meant to be predictive in nature, although we can trade it that way. So it makes this pattern right here. And sometimes it makes this pattern literally picture perfect. And you're like, oh my God, that can happen. That can happen. It's similar to Elliott waves, except Elliott was a complete lunatic and the money flows better. I spent some time down the Elliott wave money hole. The problem with Elliott waves is it's too easy to misinterpret. You can't misinterpret the money flow. I mean, we might disagree on a day or two, but the overall trend cannot be misinterpreted. But yeah, that Elliott wave guy, it's interesting stuff nonetheless, but it is out there, man, out there. What's up, Brent? So Gilead has 2 things going for it. There's 2 things. There's within the money flow, there's this thing I call bread and butter, and these are basically dividend stocks that get too cheap. They fall underneath the 200-day moving average. This is the only time you're ever going to hear me reference a moving average other than the 20, the 10, and the 5. I don't care about the 50. I don't care about any others. This is a simple. That's an exponential and an exponential. What I'm most concerned with is the numerical alignment. So if you notice, this is 20 pointing down, 10 pointing down, 5 pointing down. They're in numerical order in reverse. If you come over here, they're in order the opposite way. 20, 10, 5. So in a bull market, they're numerically aligned. 5-day, 10-day, 20. In a bear move or a stage 4 decline, they're numerically aligned opposite of each other. 20, 10, 5. What we're looking for is disruption of these moving averages. And when you get disruption, it's not necessarily the crossover that we're concerned with. It's the fact that the disruption is what causes the change from one stage to another. Oh man, I wish I had that recorded. Stage 1, that was said so elegantly. Stage 1 to a 2. That moment of crossover right there, I sometimes refer to that as the apex, is when the moving averages come together. And that's when trends change. You get it on the stage 1, stage 2, the rollover into stage 4, and then again on stage 1. What's up, baby? Hope you're doing well. And that apex, or the coming together of those moving averages, is what causes is. So if we look at Uber right now, which everyone knows I love Uber, I love it. They put out amazing numbers today. But the stock market doesn't care about that. The stock market does not trade based on logic. At some point it does. But in the meantime, in the day-to-day, it trades more based on what Vladimir Putin's doing, or what's going on in China, or what's going on with the Federal Reserve, which has very little to do with the day-to-day operations of Uber. And yet Uber's in a downtrend. And if you look at these moving averages, what do you see? 20, 10, 5. This is a downtrend. Now, what I do is if I'm looking for a possible bottom, first thing I need to see is the RSI goes extreme. That doesn't mean the move's over, but it does mean that temporarily it's possibly over. right? And if we were to go back and just plot these, now here's the thing though, in a sustained down move, it doesn't matter. It's probably going to keep going down. These are zones where people who are short cover their shorts, things like that, right? And if you look, those are the actual lows, and then it tries to rip, comes back down. That was the low, tried to rip, came back down. That was the low, tried to rip, came back down. That's what you're going to see in a down market or in a bear market. We're in a bear market in most of the stock market. A lot of people don't believe this because they watch CNBC and they see indexes, the S&P 500, the Dow, the QQQ. Well, those things are weighted to where the top 10 stocks. So in other words, you're fucking owning Apple, Visa, like these are just the top 10 are moving those indexes. Well, inside of those indexes are things like fucking Uber. And Uber is in a bear market. It's in a bear market. It's been in one for a while. Dash, Square, all those type of stocks are in a bear market. And they're not going up anytime soon, just so you guys know. You need to prepare yourself for a year, 2 years. These stocks do not go up. We are now headed into possibly the highest inflation ever in this country. If you combine the current inflation rate with increased interest rates on top of oil now tagging 130 at one point last night, the inflationary pressure is only going to continue to grow. Price of bread's going to go up. The cost of Netflix is going to go up. And now we can't even do business in certain regions of Eastern Europe, right? So this could be down for a while, which is good news. It is for me. What time frame are you using? I am using a daily chart, sir. So when we talk about the money flow, all I'm talking about is a pattern of flow. Sideways, up, sideways, down, sideways, up, sideways, down, right? Got a little choppy here. And then whenever you see that, you'll see me say sometimes, it's a daily, you'll see me say it's out of the money flow. Meaning prices can get so whacked out that it starts to look more like a cardiac machine than a stock chart. And it'll be out of. And so what I usually do is I'm not trying to force anything. If it doesn't look like it's flowing, it ain't flowing. I'm not trying to make it flow. So if you look at this one compared to say AT&T, which is flowing, see, it's still sideways. Now it could continue with the pressure to come down because of what we call the wind. And the wind is the S&P 500. This is going to lead the rest of the stock market, unfortunately. And it is pointing straight down. So we are actually going into a bear market. This is trading below the 200. This is where all your stock market friends, all the ones that were weak hands who probably shouldn't have been doing it anyway, this is where you're going to lose them. All the people in your trading groups and your Discord groups, this is where they go away because this is where they get bitch slapped and they don't like the feel of that. There's a reason there's very few rich people because it's hard. Okay, it's easier to be not rich, just so you know. So the market, this is going to come down, probably going to test these previous lows. And if you didn't know this, it's easier to be not rich than rich. Just letting you know that. In other words, it's easier to just go, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. That's easier. It's easier than to stand in there. Now, you can go back and study history and look at it, and you can have someone like me screaming at you. You know, if you go back and look at my stuff, like in 2019 when market was crashing, I was yelling at my followers to have conviction, calling them names, trying to do anything I could do to get them to see that markets go up, markets go down. That's part of the market. And about the time that you're thoroughly sick and can't take it anymore is probably when you should be looking at buying, at least focusing on your buy and holds. Now, trading, you're probably looking at trading to the short side, right? 20's pointing down, 10, 5. This is straight down. This is going straight down. That means everything is going straight down. Right, so we showed earlier, what is what I call a synthetic short? A synthetic short is what's going up when the market's going down. So I'm not big on shorting because I'm an optimist. I like to put my money to work in undervalued assets. And for me, I would rather own a utility stock that's going up or trade a utility stock. This is just me. I'm not against people that's going up than to short the S&P. That's just me. Now, sometimes I'll take shorts. Sometimes I do. Yeah, I like to call people names, but people are sensitive on Instagram, so I've had to stop doing that. I've had to stop doing it. People get upset. So what else is going up? Well, Lockheed Martin is going up, but this needs to stop. This is way overvalued. And people say, well, how do you know it's way overvalued? Well, I mean, just visually, when you get this far away from the 200-day that fast, you're probably trading overvalued. The RSI is pegging green. If you ever buy something on a green RSI, unless you're a day trader, you're a moron. Now, a day trader can, because they're looking at a much smaller time frame, right? So inside of this chart, they may have a whole chart inside of this one day, but I'm not a day trader, so I have no business buying stocks on a 70 RSI. And again, you say, well, how do you know that? Well, we could just plot it and see. Let's just be complete dummies and put it on here and see what happens at these extreme points. And is it infallible? No, and I'll show you what I mean. Look, the exact low, right? The exact area of the low. And these are general areas. It's horseshoes, okay? Once it breaks into the green, you know the top is basically in. And once it breaks into the red on the downside, you know, well, the bottom's probably in. We can't just go off of just that. So we're looking at the entire structure of price. And it's what pattern is it making? And so what I'm looking for is that big drop and then start to go sideways. And I'm also got 5-day exponential, 10-day, 20-day RSI, and we're looking for support and resistance. Someone asked me, what does it mean to be back in the box or the box? A box is just a term that I use to describe sideways movement. And they're very simple to see, because you could get your 4-year-old and say, hey, take that crayon and find me some boxes. There's a box, right? And you're going to find a lot of boxes. There's a box. See it? Sometimes I have people say, but I don't see it, Gerald. I say, I know, you just started. Give it time. If you started playing the piano yesterday, you can't play a song tomorrow. If you decide to become a rapper today, it might take you a minute. Same here, man. It's going to take you a minute. So, if you would like to be blocked, just use Arabic, please, on the screen, and I'll block you. Thank you. So, we added this to our long-term buy and holds in the Money Flow gang back in November when they missed earnings. Thank you, sir, for the Arabic writing. Let me get you blocked. Thank you. Appreciate your cooperation. And so we were buying over here, and then the actual buy point is price breaking, 4 days holding and then breaking up out of that box there. So that was our buy point. So in other words, we don't need to chase defense stocks. We already bought defense stocks back here when they were on sale, okay? And then maybe added a little in here, but once it gets ripping, we don't do anything. So we've recently trimmed some and then trimmed some right in here. So these stocks are running. That's a synthetic short, meaning you have things going up when the market's going down. So you see why sometimes they're like, why aren't you shorting? Because I have shit going up when the market's going down. I don't need to. I don't need to. I can allocate my money to buying good things that I know in the future are going to go up because I have things going up when the market's going down. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not opposed to shorting. I'm just explaining to you why I don't do it as much as maybe other people might think I should. We got Raytheon turning around. So, let's look. Can we trust the RSI? Yes. Is it infallible? No. Bottom, top, top, top. So you go look. Was that a bottom? Yes. Was that a top? Yes. Was that a top? Yes. Was this a top? Yes. Was it the top? I don't know. See, pull back, and now pulling back. So we don't know the top or the bottom, but you'll hear me say I can buy every top and buy every bottom. And I can sell into every top and sell into it. You get what I'm saying? Let's see. Yes, everyone who speaks in Arabic gets blocked forever. Now, that's nothing against Arabic people, but those are bots right now trying to get, they're saying inappropriate shit is what they're doing. Or it's people hunting me from Iraq. You know, I was in Iraq. They might be out looking for me. Let's see. I had a guy once say, Gerald, that's not funny. And I go, no, but I was in Iraq. So I don't give a fuck if you don't think it's funny. I think it's funny. Let's see. Oh, let me get my notes here. What was the other one? So Gilead, AT&T, those look pretty good. Those are set up nice. Couple stage 4s to keep your eye on for finding a bottom. So if we're watching this pattern, we're looking for stuff that's selling off right now. So in the future, maybe they're going to go sideways. So what are some good ones right now? McDonald's has a lot of exposure to Eastern Europe. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at this. Look at that big ass candle. Now, McDonald's just entered the territory of bread and butter. It went below the 200. And it's also in a downtrend right now. And the RSI just went extreme. So we see that, right? We don't need to leave that on. So what that tells me is I need to be anticipating a bottom. So starting today, I'll put a little dot there. And I'll assume this is the bottom. And then I'll be like, all right, there's support. Now what do I need happen? I need 4 more days for that to hold. If I come across, has it ever stopped here before? Yes. And we could back this up on a weekly, and we would probably see where it stopped here several times. So now what? Now we wait. And what do we think McDonald's is worth? Let's see. Let's put it in tip ranks. They got 287. Now, I don't know. That was just reiterated 8 days ago. I don't know if, Sexy David here, if David took into account Russian exposure or not. Maybe that gets reevaluated, but 8 days ago, he put it as a buy with no price target. That's weird. And old Nicole Reagan, well, that's a glamour shot right there. From Piper, what is she at? Where's she working? Piper Sandler. She has a 282 target on it, which is way up here. Okay, so according to her, that stock is way undervalued. Maybe her target's a little high. We'd have to go look, but either way, it's trading at a discount now. It's too early for me to jump on that now. Let's check out Star. Oh, thank you for the Arabic language, sir. Let me block you. Thank you. Let's see if we check out SBUX. Ooh, a little too soon on Starbucks, man. I might hold up on that. Was it Sheesty? Hopefully you didn't buy much. This is a new stage 4 decline right now. Oh, it's definitely going to make some money. Oh, thank you, Saeed. Appreciate you, bro. Let me get you blocked. Thank you. Thank you for that picture was taken on account of 2. I had a very inappropriate comment about that picture, but I didn't say it, and I'm proud of myself. Starbucks is another good one. It's way below the 200. I'm going to assume they've got some serious Eastern Russian exposure as well, plus inflation. People, you're going to get back to the conversation. 116. So we're going to get back to the conversation. Will people buy $5 coffees when oil prices are this high? Based on the fact of how many people I watch buy $12 beers, I'm pretty sure they'll buy $5 coffees. Intel is on a stage 2, but it's not ripping. it is not going to be able to rip with the S&P 500 moving down. So I like it. I'm in it. Good spot to add. Thank you, Elise. Yeah, thank you. Let me get you blocked. Thank you, sir. I like it here at $47.98. Good price. And a very similar setup is Cisco. Charts look the same. Look at Cisco. I like it. It's a stage 2. Can't see it go. Oh, thank you, man. Pretra, appreciate you. Let me get you blocked. And then Afghan 22, get you blocked. Oh, and this guy here, let me get him blocked. So yeah, Cisco has the exact same story. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. What's up, Whip? My man. Cisco, same story. No, they're bots, dude. They're not. I know you're of Arabic descent, so you're like, why is this guy picking on them? I am not picking on them. They're bots. I'm gonna turn off comments in just a second. I just like to see how long they last. Yeah, let me turn these off, man. So I got to turn off commenting. Watch how many people are on the live go down now. So Cisco has the same chart as Intel. These things are not. They're going to have a very hard time trying to go higher with the S&P plummeting. So we got QQQ. Where's it? Plummeting. We got the Dow plummeting. Yeah, we're in a bear market. So, however that makes you feel. I hope it makes you feel good. Should make you feel good. And if you're lucky, maybe we'll be in like a 2 or 3 year bear market. Or at least 1 year. We need at least 1 year. We need at least 1 year. Yeah, so the only thing out there I see on the horizon that I like right now is I still like Keynes brands here. I like some of the mortgage REITs. MFA is one that I like, but it's going to creep lower. Everything is still pointing down. So I don't think there's a rush to buy anything unless you're just cool with buying, taking a shot at that maybe you're catching the exact low. Delta Airlines, we looked at that at the open, straight down. I mean, look at this. Look at this pick up steam, dude. Delta's now down 8.5%. Yep, we have an absolute market meltdown going on here. Yeah, not good. Yeah, like Michael says here on YouTube. More time to build out positions. I mean, honestly, that's the only way you can look at it. And over time, it is the way to look at it. It is how you get to where you're going. I mean, it just sucks. It always hurts for the guy that bought here to ride it to here. And in their mind, it's hard to conceive that it could get back to here, But the idea is you chip away at some of these. Some of them are going to run up before others, and you're able to trim those and add to others. And so I wouldn't get too bent out of shape about it. Yeah, man, everything is beat down. Oh, IRM was one that was defying logic, and if you needed some money, you could trim a little IRM. Right? We bought that a while back when it was on sale. It's no longer on sale. This is another one. Whenever you can get it below the 200, you should jump on it. Another one you might consider, DLR, Digital Realty. I like this one. Putting in a solid stage 1, not really dropping much. Tells me it's probably bottomed. DLR. So I don't know, man. As far as spec plays, I love Dash. I love Uber. They're not going to go up right now. If you check out Playboy, it's holding this stage 1 here, which is pretty interesting. Now, if you remember, so what, last week or 2 weeks, was it 2 weeks ago? I've been talking about the MLP ETRN. And we were starting to buy some down here in the 620. This is an 8% dividend yield. It is now a run. So I'm not buying any more right now. We'll wait and see what this does. Another high yielder that I just mentioned was MFA. But a new position that I've been trying to build is this PFF, and now it's headed down, so I'm going to stop. And I'll wait and see if it stops here. Yeah, man, that's the only way to look at it. You know, if you have some stuff banging the RSIs, maybe trim those. You know, or fuck, just keep them as short positions. I mean, you know, in your mind, you know, it's all you can do. See if anybody's got a good comment on Instagram. Let's see. He says, check out Tan. I believe Tan is an ETN, right? Oh, I had a guy talking shit on Twitter last night. Yeah, Tan's run a little bit too far from me. And I could see this getting a bump. They're going to play on the idea that oil stocks are going to move too high. So Tan, a little too far past the buy zone for me. I would have been buying here and here. Nah, not too far past. You can still buy it here. Yeah, you can still buy it here. Let's see. Yeah, you could buy it here. It's a little past where I would prefer. I mean, ideally, I want to buy right here on the breakout, man. Ideally, right there. I would not be playing any call options right now. That sounds like suicide to me. I wouldn't be adding to any penny stocks. I'm not buying Uber here. Uber could go lower, guys. This is about to break support. I would have sold Bed Bath & Beyond at the open, or at least part of it, I mean. If you wake up and you got to stock up 100%, ring the register. That's a extremely high return. Yeah, man. So I think we're a little early. I agree with Whipple. Says keep buying stocks. You're going to get rich as fucking time for sure. DoorDash, I would not buy here. I don't think it's set up yet. No. I would not yet. We're at $83. I cannot believe that, dude. I'm shocked that we're getting this under 100. But now this is a new stage 4 decline, man. So this could go lower. These stock, they can go lower than you can comprehend, and then they can go higher than you comprehend. But this guy on Twitter, Kathy Woods, was saying, you know, she thinks in the next 5 years they're going to have massive returns. And he was trying to say that, oh, I could run a hedge fund with a 5-year time limit. First off, no, you can't, because nobody knows who you are, so they're not going to give you money, dummy. So you couldn't run a hedge fund, first off. It cost you about $1 million just to set it up, so you're talking out your ass. And then he was saying that she bought all her stocks at the high. And I'm like, now you definitely have lost me. Because here's the fund, dummy. Here's the fund. She bought them all at the high, right? Her fund was up 357%. So it's fallen by, 50%? She's still up 150%. Still up more than the guy talking shit. So if you back up on a monthly chart, this is ARC. I don't know about you, but it looks like, for my stupid friend on Twitter, it looks like it was over here. And then it looks like it ran to here, which is a 350% return. So, yeah. Feel free to start a hedge fund and do a 350% return. And then I had to respond to him, also, dummy, she's not a hedge fund. She's an ETF. I don't know if you know what an ETF is, but she can't go short. She can't hedge her positions. She has rules that run around the hedge fund. She isn't like you. She can't fucking day trade. She has limitations. And when they give her money, she has to put it to work. She can't sit on cash. So everybody throwing insults at Kathy are fucking idiots. I don't know what that means. She does not tell us the truth. Well, I'm about to block you too. Let's see. Where are we at? Pereira. That sounds like a... Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Paramount. Paramount Global, huh? That's not a bad chart, to be honest. Not bad. I don't know anything about the company, man, so I can't really comment on it. It's not one I follow. Not a bad chart, though. What's up, Jamie? What do you talk about? Let's see. Solana. Oh, yeah. Let me end with some crypto and then I'll get out of here. Now I'm just babbling off people. DOT is what I added to today. I hope you bought some DOT, Whipple. Right here. You see what I'm looking at? I'm just taking a shot that we got some support here. What would you do in Switzerland? Houses are too expensive. Don't you like expensive things? I like expensive things. What's wrong with owning an expensive house? I don't understand. Now, when you say they're too expensive, you're saying it's completely impossible for you to buy one? Can't you get a loan for it? Yeah, I like DOT. My target's up here in the 30, which is a 100% return. I don't know if we get that, but... Oh, that used to be Viacom. My bad. You're right. I knew that. I was in Viacom for a while. Tyler says any companies you can think that'll potentially boom due to high oil prices, like companies who make wood pellet stoves. I don't know, man. That'll be a pretty short-lived move. Oil's not going to stay up here. It'll come down. What stock did you show briefly with 8% dividend? ETRN. ETRN. All right, Whipple's talking about... So DOT, which is Polkadot, is one of my favorite cryptos here. RKLB. What are you looking at, Rip? Oh, Rocket Lab. Yeah, man, at $8, this thing's pretty cheap, huh? This was a $20 stock at one time. Yeah, probably not a bad move. Some of these that have been just grossly beat up. I mean, you can go down the gamut of cryptos. I'm just giving you the one that I like here. The one that I bought here was, I've been adding to Matic. I'm building that position pretty large. Some of the other ones I'm just not adding to. Don't feel like you have to add to something just because it went. Yeah, I'm just not buying much here, man. Probably gonna buy a little AT&T and that's it, and maybe a little Gilead. I might buy one share of Gilead. It's too soon on Uber. We'll just wait and see. Be patient. Take your time. You ain't got to do anything, man. You could just relax. Take a break, man. Oh, yeah. Another good way to get blocked is show me your country's flag. Instant block. That's a good way to get blocked, too. Let's see. Shop. Well, we're down big, so I figured, Dimitri, you'll pop into the Discord group and let us know how bad you're doing. He tends to show up on big down days to let me know in case I didn't notice for some reason. I guess he thought I wouldn't notice. Big down day, so he can show up and let us know that he's down. We'll see if that doesn't happen. You ever get friends that they only call you to tell you bad things? It's like every time you see this person, or you ever have that aunt. The only time the aunt calls is when there's bad shit. So when the phone rings, you're like, fuck. I have an aunt like that. Only calls when there's negative news. So, yeah, well, hey, Doc, I don't know if you're in MFA. You might keep an eye on that one, too. That one's come down pretty good. Now, BX, I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping they don't have some massive Russian exposure or something. I'm down pretty big in that one today, man. I got a huge position in this stock, so... we'll see. It's probably fairly valued here in this 120. It's easy to get greedy when it's in the 140s, right? So we see the money flow playing out here. it got a little tricky. Sideways up, sideways down. Tried to break, didn't work. Back down, then up, sideways, and now we're moving back down. So I would imagine we're going to stop. There's pretty solid support on BX right in here. I really like this company. Every time it nosedives, it's kind of tough because my position has grown larger and larger and larger over the years because they've paid a lot of dividends. And then it runs up and it's like, oh my God, I don't want to ever sell this. And then it comes crashing down and you're like, fuck, I should have diversified. I do like this stock though. It could easily come down in this 105, 107 range. And I'm sure they have some Russian exposure. These guys invest all over the world. So it wouldn't shock me that it comes out that they've got some serious Russian exposure. Hope that helps, man. Hope you guys are doing well. Keep the faith. Don't get too worried. ET's run up big, though, hasn't it? Let's see. Yeah, I'm wishing I would have trimmed more ET to buy ETRN. I bought a couple hundred shares of ETRN, but I wish I would have trimmed ET. I wouldn't be a buyer of ET here. This has had a hell of a run. So look at that stage one. This is what we're looking for, right? I mean, this is a classic, perfect stage one. I mean, and look at that breakout. It was perfect. Bam. And then it just ran, dude. And where's our... If you're trading it, there's your first target, and then your second target is what? RSI. So perfect. Bam, bam. I've trimmed some, and now I'm just sitting here. So same on Exxon, Chevron, Conoco, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. Trim these, and now I'm just sitting on them, and we'll see what happens, man. Did you play that perfect? You trimmed ET and added to ETRN. Beautiful, sir. Proud of you. So what he's saying is this is an MLP, and so is ETRN. ETRN had some legal troubles. They're going to be all right. CEO said they're all right. And that stock's gotten smashed. They're in the same sector, so he trimmed the one that's done well, added to the one that hasn't done so well. I'll show you a pairs trade like this that's happening right now. Look at MO. You see MO? MO's done really nice, right? Nice stage one, nice run up, nice sideways, nice new breakout. Now look at PM. These guys trade overseas. They sell cigarettes to Russians. And that does not look good right now. Down it goes. So I might be considering selling some of my MO to buy PM. They're both cigarette stocks. They were running together. And if you remember, we trimmed, right? There and right in there. We trimmed. And you say, Gerald, don't lie. I'm not. Look, previous high, right? And the RSI is extreme. So we want to respect that, the RSI. So if we look, what happened last time the RSI was extreme low? That was the bottom. Now what's happening? RSI's just hit 29. Is that the bottom? Could be. Has it ever stopped here before? Oh yeah. Look. Stopped here, here, and then there. So it stopped here before. We'll see if it does again. That's a lot of lines on that chart. So keep an eye out for PM. Keep an eye out for McDonald's, Starbucks. These are all setting up real nice. These are nice dividend stocks. We'll see. Yeah, I would never sell ET. Sometimes you'll hear me say selling. Sometimes I'm not. Like I'm just saying it's a sell signal. It doesn't mean I'm selling, but I will trim these. You know, if I load it up down here and they run up real high, I will trim them to add to other stocks. You know, and you can see why that was a smart move, trimming here, right? Because now we're coming down. But now, where I was looking at trimming, and I still hold the position, I just trimmed some, like 5%, 10%. So if I had 100 shares, I sold like 5 or 10. If I had 20 shares, I sold like 2 or 3, right? Now what? I'm looking at picking them back up. It's back below the 200. What do they think PM is worth? This is a buy and hold stock for me. It's also a good trading stock, by the way. 114. So they're saying it's 20% undervalue. And look where it stopped going up, around 114. Amazing. Amazing. Good call. Each Russian that gets captured gets a cigarette. This is stock charts, man. She trimmed CLF. Now that's Cliff. CLF. Let's talk about that for a second. Perfect. Who did that? Was that Curvy? Yeah, look at you, man. Look at you. Now, notice this. Previous high, right? It stopped here multiple times. What do you bet if we go look at the value of this company? I don't even know. I'm in FCX. I'm not in CLF. They're a similar company, okay? What do you bet that the true value on this stock is around $26, $27? Let's go look. I have no idea. 28. It's pretty close. What was the high today? Dude, the high was 27.79. It banged true value and stopped. This is probably the top for a minute. Doesn't mean forever. So if I'm charting, I start putting my little anchor point, and then I draw my line, and I assume that now it's fixing to start doing this. It's going to start to go sideways. And this is where I want to take gains like she did. If I was a trader and it starts to roll over, that's where I would completely sell the position. If I'm a buy and holder, I recognize what's happening and what? I wait until what? It sets back up again. Haha. Oh, what a fun game. Now, what would it look like? Okay, right here. You're going to have the exact same pattern play out. This is so funny. So it'll top out. It'll put in its little box, right? And then what? It'll break. And then where's it? Like if you're a trader, this is where you're out. You got to be done. You're out. And what? What are we looking for as a buy and holder? We're waiting for it to stop dropping and to do what? Put in that anchor point, which is what? The lowest low. Remember up here is the highest high. And then what? We're going to start drawing our line across. And what do we need? 4 days to hold the line. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And if those 4 days hold the line, what do we got? There's a buy. It's a stage 1 chance to start accumulation of that stock. Kirby, you get a sticker today. You are on fire. What's up? Bang Time Burks. That's the ex-Green Bay Packer. What's up, man? So, yeah. So that pattern you see playing out here. I don't know if she's using the money flow. I like to think she was. I need to follow more traders, man. No, you don't need to follow more traders. You just need to follow me. You follow too many, you'll just be confused. So there's our stage 1, right? And then this is a wide one, though, because technically I wouldn't call it stage 2 till it gets above the 20. But because this move was so fast and furious, you see how far apart the moving averages came? I got a whole section on this in my course. This is usually a really bad sign when it gets this far apart. It really can't do anything until they come together. This one moved pretty fast. That's usually pretty rare. Usually when they move this far down this fast, it takes a while for these moving averages to get back because it can't do anything until it gets above this green line. I mean, that's when breakouts happen, and you see how far away it was. This is rare for it to play like it did. My man says thumbs down. I just got on your line, Gerald, but I'm going to thumbs down it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not saying don't follow. I got some good buddies out there. I'm just saying I was on somebody the other day and talking to him. Oh, yeah, it was a guy I met at the bar, and we're talking. He's into trading, and I'm like, who do you follow? He followed like 70 fucking traders. I'm like, why are you doing that? Oh, you just never know who might put out something good. I'm like, well, how are you going to know, dude? It's like all 70 of those people can't put out something good, man. You need to narrow that shit down to like 5 or less, man. Yeah, that's all I got. This was a good trade. Congratulations. I just wanted to break it down for a minute. And more as you're looking at it, As a swing trader, it's completed. And you say, what do you mean? In my mind, an extreme low to extreme high is a completed move. It means completed. One anchor point to the next anchor point, and it's done. You know, there's your flip, man. You're out, you know. Now you're just following three. Yeah, it's easy, man. I've been down that hole. I get like that sometimes too. Every once in a while I got to go through my YouTube and just be like, unfollow. Because I just get these holes, and it's like, you start going through like, God damn, all these different opinions. Yeah. That's why when you say go on YouTube, I'm like, huh? Oh, okay, listen to dumbass YouTube. There is a lot of shit on YouTube, man. So I'm at, again, at $16. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Then it comes back here. Yeah, I mean, if it comes that low, now that it's above the 200, chances are it'll stay above it. So I doubt it pulls back that far. Like, I doubt it goes all the way back down to here. It could. But my thought would be the next pullback zone is going to be right around in here. It'll pull back into here and then start to go sideways. And that'll give you your pattern, you know, of going up and then over and then down. We just don't know how far down. An example of this would be like, let's look at Pfizer. This is a pretty good example. When it put in its top and then started to sell off, this zone right in here, you can see it, you know, it's not perfect, but you see where it stopped in there, just like it did over there, but then it went down again, you know. The zone it stopped in here was a previous high, and it stopped right at that 200. So usually once they get above the 200, they tend to bounce off of it and keep going up once they're above it. Just as like in my new book I'm working on, I talk a lot about this. Once it's above the 200, it tends to stay above it. Once it goes below it, it tends to bang off it. An example of that would be Boeing. Look at Boeing. This shit is crazy. So this is the 200. Look at Boeing just banging it. Boom, 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 boom. You know, it just can't. It just has these little tiny money flows. Sideways up, bangs it down. Sideways up, bangs it down. You know what I'm saying? And then it just keeps doing these little as it goes lower and lower. And so I would fully anticipate it's going to run up and bang that 200 again. My man says, stocks are dumb as fuck. All right, dipshit. So are you. Let's see. This is stockcharts.com. Bro, I do trading. That's why you get blocked for calling me bro. Yeah, it's stockcharts.com. So, yeah, you see the pattern. It takes time. I remember we're not just seeing, I mean, the pattern is the main thing, but we're also looking at the RSI and, you know, and trying to get real clear on those stages. So once they go under this 200, that 200 becomes a ceiling. Then once it breaks through, that becomes a base. Just as a general rule. AMD. Yeah. If this breaks though, man, don't buy any more because it's probably going to come down to like this $80 range. You know, that's the rule of the money flow. Whatever level breaks goes to the next level. So he's looking at this level basically, which is fine. That is the level right around in there. The next one down is like right around in here and then maybe a little bit lower in here. And let's say it rips higher. First level's there, maybe in there. These are zones where it stopped before, and that's, we assume it's going to stop again. So they become targets to the upside and to the downside. Price has memory, it's called. Price has memory. Good deal. Let me look at Ford and we'll get out of here. Oof, it's breaking. We really need, all the stocks are testing that low. That day, remember we opened down on the invasion of Russia and then we came back up? All the stocks are going down testing that level now. If this breaks, we have a shit problem. I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, it depends on your perspective, right? Yeah, if that breaks, oof, it's pretty low down below. Do you like using fib levels? Fibs are fine. You don't need them if you know the money flow. I just told you the levels. So the next level up on Ford is right there. Next level's here. So if it breaks this, it goes to the next level, which is down here. And we could talk in other videos how I'm determining these levels. But so if it breaks, I assume it goes to this one and stops. If that one breaks, I assume it goes to this one and stops. If this one holds and it goes up, I assume it goes to this one and stops. If that one breaks, I assume it goes to that one and stops. So if I'm trading to the upside, that becomes a price target. That becomes a price target. In addition to, I'm watching the RSI. So that was a very fast explanation of that. Let's look at FUBU. Since I think I made fun of Kurt. Didn't I make fun of you the other day? So I owe you a couple stocks here. Man, I would not add today. I'm gonna be honest. If you zoom in on this, I don't know, man. I like the company. Part of me says it's just so damn low. We should just buy some. There's partly that, right? But at the same time, I want to be smart with my money. So let's drop this to a 1 hour chart. And what do we see? The money flow trades at different time frames, right? So, and we can see the money flow on the 1 hour chart, right? What are we seeing? It looks like a buy signal. It's at support, right? RSI is extreme and price is going sideways. So if I'm swing trading and its purest definition is probably on a 1 hour chart, and I would take this as a trade, and where would my target be? About 850, and then the next target is around 10. And as long as this kept moving, I would sell some there. I would let it give it a minute. As long as it keeps going in that stage 2, I would just let it flow. And I would trail it up on the way up with a stop loss of some, depending on how you want to do it. I don't trade that way much anymore, okay? I don't trade that much way anymore. But if you're sitting around and you're at a computer and you got all fucking day and you can just watch them, that's how you swing trade the money flow. On a 1 hour, it looks okay. On the daily, to me, it looks like it has a little more down move, man. So that tells me I'm splitting hairs. So, yeah, it ain't going to hurt you. I might buy a little. A firm is hurting your soul. Let's see. I don't even trade a firm. What is the fucking tick? Oh, AFRM. Same thing. I don't think there's any urgency here, man. We need to see this hold. If this holds, then we're good. And you see exactly where it stopped, right? Previous low. I mean, that is exactly where it has stopped. But you see how everything's pointing down? We need that shit to go sideways. And the RSI is not extreme. That tells me it can go lower. And here's my example of that. Anchor point, see it? Price starts to go sideways, and then it tries to break out. Until it starts to go sideways, there is no move to the upside coming. There is none. So I would be prepared for a very long time. You're going to be down in this stock. Just get that around your head. And don't feel like you have to add to it if other stocks are going up. I mean, you can just wait. You don't have to make your money back on the same stock. You know that, right? Like Walgreens is trying to break out. Like this stock is literally going fucking up. and people are trying to buy stocks going down. You see the difference? This stock is going up, like it's trying to break out. So why not buy some of that and ride it up to 53 and take the profits and go buy some of your other shit that isn't going up? What if for the next 2 years growth stocks are in the shitter? What'll happen is, this is what'll happen. Your girlfriend will want a spoon, and then she'll be like, "Baby, you should sell that FUBU. You were dumb. You shouldn't have bought it anyway. Why don't you sell that and buy me a Louis Vuitton purse? Maybe you should sell that and help out your mama. Maybe you should sell that and get some new tires, or we could go on vacation and get an Airbnb. You know, little Junior needs some new braces." That's what's going to happen. That happened to all my friends. That's what happened to all my friends. "Oh, we can't buy a rental property. We got to help my daddy buy a new trailer. My daddy needs a new trailer. He just got some land out in Tennessee, and we need to help him build a ramp. We can't buy a rental property." That's what happens, bro. And then you're like, then you start playing the what if game, or the I should have game. Man, I could have bought a Ferrari. Instead of doing that, I could have bought a Ferrari. I'm going to end this pain. I'm going to sell this stock and get it over with. And then you'll look back 2 years later. I'm talking from personal experience. And then you're like, "Man, I'm selling Netflix at $50. It was $150 and fell to $50, and that hurts. I'm selling this shit." And then you look back and it's $500 2 years later. You're like, "Man, Kathy Woods was right." Let's see. Let me show you an example. In 2012, there was a massive, massive tech crash. People don't know about it. And I was in Netflix. And this bitch was like $50, $60. And that thing fell, man. It fell. It fell to like $6. Look at this. And this is when everybody's like, "Oh, there's a better use for your money. You could put that money to work in other things." That's when they start giving you that story. You don't want to, yeah. And so I sold it. And then it went on to go to fucking like $700. And then you're like, "But Gerald, it was $700 and now I'm down 50%. I know. It fell from 700 to 360. Has it ever done that before? Netflix has done that shit a bunch of times. This is a monthly chart. My point being is they all do this. Growth stocks do this. And so if you're going to play the growth stock game, you got to know that. So all your friends that are breaking weak, avoid those people. This is the way. We're going to go a little Mandalorian. This is the way. That's what we need to start saying. Hey, let's do that in Discord. Every time someone goes, "Are you sure we should do this?" This is the way. I mean, I need to make, man, that needs to be an ebook. This is the way. Yeah, I learned my lesson on that, man. I got blown out of so many Chipotles. You can't even bring up Chipotles around me. I get sick. Because I let these ass clowns on TV talk me out of it when I was down 60%. And it was the greatest buying opportunity in my life, and I got out of it. Because I had people in my head, we could have went on vacation with that money. We could have went and visited my mother. We could have bought them something nice. That's what you start to hear. I think it's time, guys. All right, man. You guys be good. All right, YouTube. Nobody asked a question there, did you? This is the way. Yeah, man. Me and buddy of mine were talking about this China trade as well. At this point, I'm staying with it. It's brutal. I don't know what to say. The triple, they're going to end up doing a reverse split here shortly. So that's coming. They'll do a reverse split. they'll make the thing more expensive, and you'll get your shares, and that's going to be the story there. I mean, it's in a downtrend. You know, you get some right, you get some wrong. 23, I'm not selling into a 23 RSI. I'll sell into a rally maybe, but I don't sell down, I sell up. So it's not going to stay here. It may rally back up, just like you saw these others. Gets to extreme RSI, rallies up, extreme RSI, rallies up, extreme RSI, rallies up, extreme RSI, it'll rally up. You'll probably, if you want it out, you'll get a chance to sell it for a couple bucks higher later. So, The Intelligent Investor, that's a tough book, dude. That's a tough book. Yeah, he lost 20 racks on a company and wouldn't let anyone talk about it. That's the way I am. I got like 3 stocks, man, and I won't even talk to you. All right, man. You guys be good.